What's going on, traders? Clay here with Top One Trader. We're going to dive into the weekly outlook video for the second week, or really kind of the first week of May. But this past Friday, we had NFP, right? So I wanted to talk about this before we get into the charts. And we had a higher number, higher jobs number. Unemployment came in about the same. And I think this was a pretty big number because especially with Trump. I mean, nobody knows exactly what's going on with the tariffs and, is he going to tweet or it's just a whole different environment. So the question is, how is, like, if this was a big miss on numbers, then how would the Fed interpret that in terms of cutting rates? And then if this was like, say, 600K, maybe they would be looking to raise rates, right? So, but that being said, it kind of came in line and a little bit higher than forecasted. So nothing too spectacular. So we'll get into the moves here in a second. But this week, data wise, the reason why this was such an important NFP is because Wednesday we have a statement from the FOMC, the Fed, right? So it's going to be a big deal, and kind of what happened today, which really was a dud. A lot of times that's how it ends up being. But what happens today is really going to affect, more than likely, the outcome of the FOMC, right? So I think it's going to be a big deal. But before that, it's pretty quiet, like super quiet, almost a little too quiet. Monday and Tuesday. So Wednesday, expect some high volatility. Thursday, we have Bank of England monetary policy, so that's going to be a big deal. And those are going to be really, really big market movers. And of course, Friday we have a bunch of Fed speakers, right? So this could definitely be a market mover as well. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, expect some high, serious volatility, right? So now, if we're pulling up the dollar index here, this is a 4-hour time frame. This was the NFP candle, right? I'll go to the 1 hour so we can see it a little bit better. This was NFP right here. Yep, there it is. 8 o'clock, 8:30, and price just kind of pulled back to the original level, right? Retested the 200 here. And so the question is this going to be enough for the dollar to start to rally? Because, it's been in a serious, serious downtrend for a while now. I mean, going back to February, start of February, right? So that's a pretty big deal. So the question is this the bottom for the dollar? Are we going to start to see a resurgence in the dollar strength? When you pull up, say, pound dollar, right? Because I talked about the pound. We are sitting on another support here, and we have another layer of significant area right about here. So I will probably look for dollar strength going into this week. Of course, you never know. But here's dollar CAD, right? So now I'm not saying get counter trend here, but if the dollar gains some strength, it could be a really good opportunity to get in, say, on the short side, right in this fair value gap, right? If price pulls back to that, then you'll be able to roll over, catch the trend, and catch the continuation, right? Something like that. Perfect case scenario, right? So, but that's what I'm going to look for, opportunities like that in the upcoming week. Dollar Swiss holding a little bit better. Have a previous VWAP anchored on there, so we'll take that off. And I think this could be a mover, and especially if we break up above that 200 SMA. Same thing with dollar yen. Looks like there's some movement here, right? Potential bullish movement. So let's keep that in mind. Now gold looks to be finding some support here, right? So this was the previous bear flagpole, and you can see this is where it it ended right at the same distance as this the top flagpole, right? So this is why I really love finding these patterns because they're easy to spot and they usually play out. So that being said, let's have an awesome week, everybody. We appreciate y'all at Top One, and can't wait to see y'all get some payouts. Peace.